Okay.
I already know that.
But what if
Almost.
Piotr,
I said that way too
Really went
seriously.
with it?
what if Piotr is the father of your sister?
And there we go. The logical
That's-
conclusion I was dreading.
I'm assuming she may be my twin. I don't know.
No, she's not your twin, but
Did you just make that determination now?
Milo is your sister's father.
no.
Milo's my mom.
No. I might know your mom.
Apparently everyone knows your mom. What's up
Probably,
with
I
that?
yeah.
don't know. Some of
'Cause-
us know his sister.
Okay, let's save this for in game.
My mom did give birth somewhere in town, so like you might know my mom.
Okay, I'm turning
got
on the
big
music
wife
that
lore.
signifies
Anyway.
the start of the episode.
So no shit, there we were.
Yeah, so before we get all to that long conversation, Piotr, you'll remember that last week you had this
Oh,
interesting
God.
premonition that involved your arch rival Calyx and your former neighbor Morok Tombthrust. And yeah, you saw Calyx's nuts. And I want to use the
They were
phrasing that Rick and
nice.
Morty made for the test area, but like I'm pretty sure that even on explicit channel Twitch, we can't get away with that. So
I'm sure we could.
it's also so early in the episode that like I might cut it so that this is within the danger zone for YouTube videos. So
The danger zone.
What if we spell it out?
see you no.
No.
Okay.
Okay, well, dodging that bombshell.
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
awake.
I'm gonna tell the rest of the group what I saw. That, you know, I think Calyx might have just been turned into a fish person.
Oh, are you getting... How do you know that?
Weird dream. Feels like never had one of these before, but it feels like it's something that. I mean, come on, we got the premonition lady in the room. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
We all turned to Premonition Lady.
she's recently stood up in her bed, like sitting at attention and looking calmly at you, assessing the situation.
Do you
Was
know
it just a
what
dream,
could
or was this actually like something that's going on? 'Cause it seems like something he would do.
There does seem to be an element of not quite premonition, but of divination to what you just saw. Just a sec, I'm looking for what I'm actually supposed to say. And
Ah, great. He's gonna be even more of a pain in the ass next time we see him. Just wonderful.
it seems I might have given you a taste of my power unconsciously. I wonder if perhaps you're particularly well suited for divinatory power? Or perhaps you're like a sponge, drawing in the power of whoever might be around.
Maybe it's a god that decided to show him stuff.
I don't know which of these options I like the least.
Well, it's hazy, but I do sense something from you. Like a lodestone tugging through the air, drawing like to like. I do not know where this particular thread might go or what might happen, but it will certainly be interesting if what I see comes to pass.
Well, seems like it's being useful for now, so I'll take it as a win. In the interim, what's the plan for the next couple days before we get the counter ritual going?
You hear crickets begin to chirp.
I'm pretty sure we.
I believe that says about as much.
We can go and scope out the area. I don't know exactly where in the districts where they have marked out. We plan on doing our ritual.
When does that lockdown of Redwood? Wherever it was. When is that lockdown going into effect?
I believe they said it occurs tomorrow. Well, the day after today.
Okay.
We should go today then.
yeah, if we're gonna scout out, today's the day. And there'll probably be a bustle of activity with people trying to get out of the district.
It's as good a time as any.
Wait, do we know about where this would be? If I give you a map, could you point it out?
Yes, I believe I know where it is. She
All right.
brings up the. She pulls a map from her goods, and I'll put that map up.
Goods.
Yeah, she just has one of the, you know. Where did I put the Aquila map? Here it is.
She just has a bag of holding sewn right there.
I mean, that's the dream, though, right?
I pull out my longsword. From where? Bag of holding.
Just don't cut
She
yourself
actually
on the
got
way
one
out.
boob removed and just put a pouch of holding and sewed it right onto her chest. So then, you know, she just wears it as her own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now
So
you're thinking
you see
artificer.
that dense cluster of houses in the middle of the city?
Necromancer.
Yep.
That's where.
Cool. Should I go by myself? Scout out since I'm the stealthiest of us and tell you guys my finding, or do we want to all go out and scout in force?
I don't mind. If you need a hand, I can come. I actually wanted to talk to you, Milo, for a moment, so if you weren't leaving right away.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on going anywhere, but if you're going out, you two should take these, and I'll hand you both an infiltrator's elixir.
I will pocket the infiltrator's elixir. Dimitri, I do think I have this on my own. I'm just wondering if you have any insights or anything you'd like to bring into it.
And you've got to get then just, you know, probably walk behind the merchants. No one really watches behind there when you go past things. Behind their stalls.
Rhea, Lysta?
I'd like to scope out the area.
Okay. Well,
I have a spell in mind that I recently figured out how to use, and it'd be nice to see how best I could lay it.
oh, well, sounds good. I'll try and get you there unseen.
What does it do?
Dot.
It creates a wall of thorns.
Huh.
Sounds sharp.
Yes,
Well, we can use that to make our escape if need be.
I do hope that such a thing won't be necessary.
take some... Wait, does it take time to...
Does Wall of Thorns take time to cast?
Oh, crap, I
Let's
don't have my book
find
nearby.
out.
Tune in next week to find out.
Yeah, it's a
Makes sense to
duration of
yourself,
1
doesn't
minute,
it?
and it takes 3 actions.
Yeah, okay.
So-
The way I wrote it down made it sound like it takes 1 minute to cast.
That'd be rough.
Yes.
Although it may be worth it if it lasts long enough. Like,
It is. It's
Lasts for 4
It
days.
creates a 5-foot thick wall that can be up to 60 feet long and up to 10 feet high.
Not bad. Well, shall we go and scout things out then?
The length and height I can adjust.
okay. So you all get ready to go scout out the danger zone. And why don't you all pick... So who all's going, just to make it official? I see Piotr and
I think
Piotr.
Piotr and Lysta.
Dimitri going?
I'm not going.
And I'm not going either.
Oh boy.
Okay. So Piotr and Lysta, can I get rolls for traversing through the city from you, please?
Stealth, as always.
I will
Oof.
do stealth as well. stealthy dice.
I hope you roll better than I did.
24.
You did. I got 16.
You roll a 5.
I rolled a 3.
Okay, so you two are kind of wandering through the city, and as you're walking, you're doing kind of the like sneaking alongside crowds and trying to like blend in all Assassin's Creed-like. And unfortunately, as you're doing this, you run just like Piotr. You like shoulder tap somebody, which like throws off your hood for a brief second, and you make eye contact with this Taranis of the Silver Gavel, and like you just see the click of recognition in his eyes after a split second.
I don't suppose we can sit down and talk out our differences?
Hey, wait! You're the guy in that poster, right? One of the Despicable
Oh,
Six.
no. See, this happens all the time. People mistake me for that other, whatever it was, Peter, whatever it is. And they keep coming up. This is why we're the hood. I'm a different half-elf. Yes, I'm a half-elf, but we're not all the same. What is this, a race thing?
Go
Come
ahead
on.
and roll diplomacy. Or bluff.
Can I roll something besides a 3? 13.
Nope, we're entering combat.
Delightful.
Hey, Nev, Novus, get over here. We got ourselves a runner.
Oh, well, worth a shot. And I'm going to start running the opposite way from where Lysta is.
Okay. So why don't you go ahead and roll an athletics check?
Oh, I got a 9 on die. Let's figure out how low that is. 16 again.
Let's go ahead and roll that. And where did I leave my books? Why do I never have my books handy?
That was the last we heard of Piotr and Lysta.
Piotr,
No, I'm
next
leading
time,
him away. I'm leading him away from Lysta. So
next
she'll
time,
be okay.
hold your dice up before you roll.
I like how
Okay.
they found the dude with the hood on that has the stealth rolls, but not the green elf.
She's being stealthier.
Bad luck, man.
Also, I have my hood up.
Okay.
Aren't you like 6'7"?
I'm 6'6".
Oh, it's
Oh boy.
LeBron James, everyone.
So,
It's not like I have like.
Piotr, what'd you get again?
16.
16. Just shy. So
Yeah.
they catch up to you. And we're in combat now. So go ahead and roll initiative.
Cool. How many of them are there?
There are 3.
Section?
Yeah, sure.
I'll give you 3 guesses what number or what total I got.
You didn't hold it
16?
up first.
16.
Yeah, baby. Give me those.
Okay.
16.
At least
Well-
you're getting consistent.
Consistently low is not good.
16's not good in any
I got
game.
a 20 on die.
Delightful.
Okay.
At least that was for initiative and not to hit.
So, that's gonna be, so the first guy spends 2 actions catching up to you and uses his third to try and slice at you, and takes out this longsword to complement his, like standard Tarnus shield, and will hit you for 27.
Damage?
No.
Oh, his attack was 27. Yeah, that hits.
And that is 2 damage with a disarm check. So that is athletics versus your acrobatics DC, I think.
I believe so. I'm not armed, so even if he critically succeeds, I'm not armed.
Fair enough. Then he won't do that. So first one does that. Second one, same idea. 22 with 8 damage.
That hits.
Last one, man, I'm rolling well. 26 with 5 damage.
That hits. Ow.
They start like shouting at you, put your hands up, surrender now, come peacefully.
You're already attacking me!
Stop resisting.
Art imitates life.
Okay, I'm just, I am going to attempt to run my full 3 actions away.
Okay.
They will all get attacks of opportunity, I assume.
Let's find out.
If they
I
have
do
that
not
feat.
see that feat, so you are safe.
All right, my movement speed is 30, so if they are the human standard of 25, I can slowly gain distance on them.
Yeah. Okay, you book it and just like sprint through the crowd. Why don't you roll an acrobatics check just to get through the crowd? We'll call it DC 17.
Oh, okay, I made that 21.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
and my plan is to make distance. Once I have enough space to do so, throw my grappling hook up to a building, climb up it, retrieve it, and then go where they cannot follow.
Okay. Yeah, you dodge and weave and then use the grappling hook to quickly get out of sight and successfully manage to do so. You see them kind of like plowing their way through the crowd, knocking people to their on their ass and so on and so forth, and they just go right past you.
Well, I'm gonna, after waiting a minute or so for the heat to die down, I'm going to throw my hood back up, climb down in a different alley, and then try and make my way back to where I separated from Lysta.
Okay. Yeah, you two managed to meet up after some confusion and wandering. So let's roll a d4 to see how long that takes. Yeah, it takes you about 40 minutes, but you get back together.
Well, that was fun.
I'm very surprised when you get seen and I don't. You're usually much better than this. And also, I'm
Sometimes
very
luck overcomes
tall.
skill. Also, I missed what you said last, so...
I said,
I'm just
also,
gonna-
I'm very tall.
What are they going to do, look for all the tall people?
Maybe. I don't know. There are a lot of guards that they sent out after us. I don't know if they have better things to do with their time.
Well, the short answer is no, the long answer is no. Let's get going. And hope that next time we're a bit luckier.
Okay. Yeah, you make it the rest of your way
I've
unassailed.
heard if you do a silent prayer to a god named Joe, it can really help.
I don't ask the gods for help.
Suit yourself.
Okay. So yeah, you make it to your target location. What do you do when you get there? It's not a small area, right? It's like a neighborhood.
I am going to try and get the lay of the land so I know where the streets are, know where some choke points are, know where the lines of sight are.
Do we know if Etherin had a specific place in the district in mind for this?
So you haven't asked him about it that much. He did mention that they had sigils located throughout the city in a 17-point configuration that seemed linked to this, and then that the actual ritual site would take place in the center of these sigils. You also gathered that they'd be having the fish people, for lack of we need to come up with a better word for them. The fish people would be gathered.
No.
Would be gathered underneath the city in the after crypts, acting as sort of a magnet to draw Valist's soul into this world.
So if we look at a map, Where in the Redwood district would it look like the middle is?
So let's just like cut to the chase. What are y'all looking for?
I want to
We're-
look for where we're probably going to bunker down.
Okay, so you're just gonna stay in place until the ritual?
No,
No,
I want to
no.
get an idea of what it looks like what road paths are going in, where people could like come from at us.
Cool.
We're trying to make it so that when we start the counter ritual, we know the ground that we're having it on.
Gotcha. Why don't you roll a society check?
Holding up my die first.
It would make
Hold it up.
sense.
I did, and I got 19. Holy shit.
Fair enough. Okay, now
that's
you've
27
learned,
total.
audience. This is how you roll well. Gotta hold the die up to the camera. Sorry if you're just
Let
playing
me-
at home.
Let me bless it for you.
I got an 8.
I accidentally aimed it towards Rhea. Sorry.
Okay, so we were playing with ideas for how to what to do as like incentives to raise money, right? And we were playing around with like, oh, maybe we could record like a voicemail message or something like that. I vote that we offer 1 Joe Dice blessing.
If you have them, if you have dice shipped to my house, I will bless them and then I will mail them to you.
You might want to set up a P.O. box for that, not your actual house.
Well, okay.
Oh,
so
I was
as-
I was saying, Ian, if he does a sweepstakes and has
Oh.
them sent to me, I will then send them out.
Just sends you like 100 sets of dice, and you just bless each individual one.
That would take me a long time.
What do you
I think
do to bless dice?
See, I was
I'm not
You
thinking,
don't
telling
want to
you.
know.
oh boy. No, I was
Do
thinking
you
that you
bless
could just like do the
D4s
thing and then
too?
we could get it into like a GIF or something and then send out like those little digital photo, like digital frames.
Okay, but here's a question. Is this open to the cast?
No.
Because I really need some Joe Dice blessings.
You rolled fine last episode.
Well, birthdays
I
are
know,
coming
because
up.
My home dice are awesome and my studio dice hate me.
You'll just have to swap some out. Anyways, so yeah, what'd you get on die, Piotr?
I got 19 on die, 27 total.
29 on die.
Yes, it does deal holy damage.
Okay. With that, you get a pretty solid understanding of like the lay of the land. When you do get access to the map, I'll be sure to outline some hidden routes, and in addition, you'll get a +2 to any athletics, acrobatics, whatever checks that you make to navigate your way through this area.
Writing that down.
Yeah, you're gonna want to, because I'm not gonna remember in the heat
Is
of the
that for
moment.
everybody or just him?
He can share that knowledge and give them a +1.
I will do so once we get back, if we get back.
Okay. It'll take about an hour total. Okay. So you all finish your scouting and reconnaissance and you return to the warehouse, and there does not seem to be anything else for today, but Piotr, on the way back, you get the itch at the back of your mind, the reminder, the recalling that you should maybe check Calix's estate to see if Mako has put up his flag yet.
Oh, I thought you already had. Oh, I'm gonna
don't think
break
so.
away from Lysta once she's pretty close to home, and I'll head through the after crypts to the estate.
Okay. Yeah, we've already established you can do that, and it's pretty easy. So, you just take a 10. You get there, and you see that the red scarf is indeed flying freely in the breeze.
Shoot, I wish I had Almir with me.
Oops.
I'm gonna
Kidnap children.
no,
Investigate it yourself.
stop making it seem like I'm a fucking weirdo. I'm only a little bit of a fucking weirdo.
Revenge of the Body Snatchers.
Well, I mean, he wants to be kidnapped.
Pretty
I'm going
much.
to take an arrow and tie a note to it
Mhm.
that says the clearing where you and you know who would hang out. Midnight.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot the. I'm gonna make a sound of like a really loud like, caw 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 something out the window using ghost sound.
The park that makes you feel electric.
Not that one. The other one.
Okay. You do all that.
I'm gonna make the sound outside his window and like see if he shows up.
Part of you feels like he got the message.
No, how do you get the message? I haven't
Oh.
given it to him.
Well,
yet.
yeah. I thought you were just gonna like shoot at it. Sorry, I got a little ahead of myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna make the sound such that he like goes and like, what's that? Opens the window to check what it is.
Yeah, that
And then
happens.
shoot him through the heart.
I'm gonna shoot the arrow such that it hits him. It hits the windowsill. Not him.
Okay.
The windowsill.
Yeah, that all happens.
Hits him in the chest.
Okay.
You see him gather
And
the
then
message, and like he
stealth-
kind of looks out, but like he squints, and let's see if he actually sees you. He does not.
And I will stealth away like the ghost I goddamn am.
Okay. Yeah, he pulls the red scarf in after him, and like so on and so forth. You return to the warehouse where everyone is gathered.
So, Dimitri, explain to me again. How do you remove your thumb? I don't get it.
It's not actually removing your thumb. It's watch. I'll turn my hand this way. You just put your thumb this way, and then you turn it, and then you just pretend like your thumb's removed. It's just a trick of the eye.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna pull out a knife. Oh, we're removing Dimitri's thumbs? About time.
No, it's a trick.
Oh.
I don't know. I was just sewing sauce or something, and then Lysa came in and got curious. I don't know.
Yeah, you see Sasha just kind of like banging her hands together, trying to make it work, and she just can't.
Are you sure you're not using magic?
Pretty sure it's not magic, yeah.
I've seen you remove your thumbs before, I think. I don't know in game.
You mean like this?
Damn it, you can do it too!
It's not hard.
No scar from the war. Never quite recovered, right?
She gives you this face of just like irritation and confusion.
Was that sarcasm?
Yes. Also, to make up for said rude joke and sarcasm, which I am ever so sorry for, we're picking your boyfriend up at midnight at that park you guys would always hang out on the way back from school.
Really?
Yep.
You finally
But I
put his
thought
thing
you-
out? I mean, okay, sorry, I phrased that. You put his scarf out?
I was about to ask, Yoda.
As much as I am regretting the decisions that brought me to this point, yes, he has indeed.
Oh man. I need to go prepare. Just a sec.
She like runs towards her room, stops, turns around, grabs Lysta, and then runs back into her room.
Well, this is gonna be their whole day.
Oh, man,
At some
okay,
point.
okay.
At some point during the day.
Is-
Wait, I'm sorry.
Is there any plant magic that can make me, like, look pretty?
Well, it's not really magic, but there's you can use some plants to make some makeup.
Okay, good. I want to make him regret his decision to put up with that woman.
Oh, and we can braid some really nice flowers into your hair.
Oh yeah, that sounds really cool. Wait, where are there good flowers around here, though? It's mostly just dirt. Oh my god! Where did those come from? You need to show me that.
Don't worry, we'll get there.
Rhea, get in here.
I'm gonna sit
Show her
down
again,
next to
show
my.
her again.
What? Is everything okay?
Show her again.
Flowers.
Isn't it cool?
Pretty.
We're going to braid some into Sasha's hair.
Ooh, okay. I'll just take half of them and then go to one side of Sasha's head and just start braiding.
Okay.
Do I? Yeah.
You can make any sort of dexterity check you want.
Cool. I'm realizing in this exact moment that I'm an idiot who forgot to
Or
grab
charisma.
her dice. So I'm gonna go grab my dice really quick.
While she's
They're
doing that,
important for this game.
Can I make it be a nature roll?
You know what? Sure. Dex nature. Why not?
X nature.
Dex nature, sure.
I'm gonna sit down next to Milo. At some point, I have completely lost control of my life, and I'm gonna like
Can't see it
pull
on
up my
screen.
shirt and start bandaging
Oh.
the wounds that I've had this whole time.
Yikes.
All right.
I noticed you didn't drink the potion I
20,
gave you.
not natural.
Saving it for later.
It's only good for today.
The day hasn't ended yet.
That's fair.
Ray,
I'm
what'd you
just
get?
doing flat decks
Okay.
for my braiding skills.
You're not even just gonna use a dex-based skill?
Oh, any dex-based
I mean,
skill?
not any, but like anything that could be reasonably construed to apply to this situation.
Like, I would say acrobatics could work because that's dexterity with your fingers.
Regular dexterity is dexterity with your fingers, but I like acrobatics
Thievery.
better.
Fine, go ahead, use acrobatics.
Oh, that's a natural 20 plus 12.
I'm a 10-year-old girl,
32.
not a lawyer. Okay, nice.
This half of her head is braided.
Yeah, so you go through it, and like it has the taste, style, and competence that a 12-year-old girl could never show on her own. It's like between the two of you, it's like some beauty parlor shit. You get the feeling that like maybe you could make a business out of this.
Why are we adventurers again?
Does Sasha have a matching outfit?
Yes, obviously.
Any outfit is
Well-
matching when a mage can cast prestidigitation.
Oh my god, it feels so good. I want to see.
Do we have a mirror?
We have all mirror.
That doesn't count.
I have a mirror.
I think Milo has one.
Milo carries a hand mirror because he's a little bit vain.
Milo, I need that.
He just like tries to grab it from you as you're like holding it up to demonstrate.
He'll put his
I guess.
hand out and say, "Excuse me, miss, that's not how we ask."
It's how I asked. Now hand it over.
Sasha.
Milo will look very angry and say, "Remember what I showed you I could do to that rat?"
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry. Please, thank you, Mr. What was your last name?
Dr. Atkins.
Please and thank you, Dr. Atkins.
This is how Piotr
He'll-
threatens a third member of the party.
He'll hand over the mirror and say, "Please return it in the same condition."
She gets like 5 steps away and says,
I make no promises.
and then darts into her room. Okay. That all happens. And yeah, she does return your mirror in the same condition. She's extremely happy with how it turned out.
Wonderful.
Is anybody else doing anything today?
Yes.
I'm working on some stuff.
But what about the things?
Well, like, so we looted from Malaman's last time, and I may have, grabbed one of the weapon potency runes, and I might be applying it to a cold iron dagger.
Okay.
I don't know where I found them. They just happened to. In the chaos, I must have picked them up, thinking they were
You
my
found them in
own.
your pack after we were
Yeah.
well on our way.
They must have fallen in the excitement off the shelves and into my pack.
I mean, hey, they're just gonna burn anyway, so
So yeah,
net gain for good.
And
Yes.
if you want to see the other things that we
Good.
got from that place, our Discord is fantasticide.net/discord, because
Oh wait, put that in public.
mm-hmm.
Oh holy shit!
yeah, so I'm
Party
trying to
loot.
actually put things in the public channel now, making it active, being useful.
Works for me. I will not make snide comments. Well, I'll make less snide comment. I make no promises.
Oh,
Less
it
directed
was in
snipe.
a public channel. It
I'll
wasn't
pout
anything
about
in
it.
private. Anyways. Okay. What are you doing, Dimitri?
First, at some point in the day, I went to Milo and was like, Milo, the other day when we were talking to Malaman, you mentioned that you'd be able to kind of put scrolls and things like that together.
Well,
Right.
I can't infuse the magic myself, but as far as I understand the theory, if someone were to supply the cast for me, I could inscribe it properly. Yes.
Well, I can kind of help you with that. See, I've been finding some of the text in the book I had. I got to a point where there's a lot of different things all at the same time. So I wanted to see if I could kind of put a couple of them into practice. So there's one that kind of made everything quick, like sped up your metabolism and your reaction time and everything like that. So I wanted to see if I was able to
like Quicksilver.
kind of like that. Is that some kind of alchemical ingredient you use?
It's a mutation.
Well, I don't know. This is a mutation. It's more of along
Oh, it
my line of
sounds-
stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually already got the materials and things. Some just paper and ink. I didn't want you to have to get your own stuff.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Yeah, so I don't know when you have free time in the next like a couple of days or so. How do you actually need me to help you?
Every day before I begin, I'll need you to come and cast the spell into the ink pot that I'm using to write the scroll.
Okay, can't I just do it the one time?
I have to have it every day that I'm working on it.
All right. Well, I can probably. There's just so many. Okay, I can do that. So, what if we started now? Is that possible?
Of course. And he'll clear off some a clean writing space. Will get himself set up and nod at you to continue.
Cool. I'll provide you the haste casting of the spell.
Cool. Yeah. As soon as you're done casting it into the ink pot, Milo's hand's gonna move at a rapid pace as it makes these as it starts to make these haste scrolls.
God damn it, guys.
Oh boy, I just saw the text on the screen.
Yeah, he'll go ahead and he'll make it.
So you tomorrow then, like what, around lunchtime? You just need me to do that again?
Yeah,
Okay.
for
all
the
right.
next few days. Yeah.
Fine.
Thank
with
you.
me.
Milo will continue working until he's exhausted that jar.
Okay.
I'll be able to finish a batch of scrolls in 4 days. So
Right. Then I did want to go to Madame Zilstra's as well.
Okay.
I'm not
Pretty
going.
pleased.
I'm not going with you. I'm
Yeah.
writing.
So
Um,
you go over to Madame Zilstra's. What are you looking to achieve there?
I want to ask her about Relis and let her know what I've discovered to see if she knows.
Okay. So you make your way through the orphanage courtyard. Remind me, it was Zilstra's something for something.
Zilstra's home for the wayward youth.
Yes. And there are the children playing out in the yard, and Zilstra's entertaining several kids once again. And she looks up when you walk in and immediately seems to read the expression on your face and understand that you have something important to share with her. So she's just like, sorry, children, just 1 minute. And she gestures for you to go into her office with her.
Cool. Once I go into her office, I go, hey, Miss Silly, I came across some more information about someone else, and I wanted to see if you knew. And
Oh.
in that instance is when I will mind link her all the new info that I just learned about Relis and pretty much the last couple days of my exploration.
You're getting quite talented. I am surprised at how far your powers have grown.
Well,
I'm quite proud of you, Dimitri. Anyways,
it's not hard to figure out once they do it to you, you know.
oh, don't be modest.
Well, so did you ever hear of that name before?
I believe it is the other that I mentioned a long time ago. She was never in my care, unfortunately. She was taken by the person who was performing the experiments, whose name escapes me until I can consult my Rolodex.
But she is my real sister. Is that part true? That she
Drell. Yes, she is your sister. She's...
twin?
No. She's your half... Well, let me think. Do I want to make it half? Sure, let's make it... She's your half-sister. Elder by a year or two.
She's older, that means.
I'm sorry I ruined your headcanon. Although I did have an awesome idea for a for another exclamation mark command to add cannon that just makes a cannon appear in the bottom corner and shoot a cannonball.
So she's older than Dimitri by
So
she'd
she'd be
years?
yeah, she'd be almost 23. If I can, I intend to find her. Then, I've with everything I've learned so far, it doesn't make too much sense, but I'm starting to figure it out, and you know, I've been able to do even more magic and such too, but I don't know. It's not the time and place to show off here, so I just wanted to see if you remembered. So, thank you, Miss Lily. Is there anything you need help around here? I know it's been some time since I've been around, but things have been kind of difficult to travel.
Well, we could use some help. One of the boys broke our window yesterday, and I need some help patching it up. And
Okay. Well,
of course, I could always use some help cooking meals. These old bones are not what they used to be.
well, how about I get both like Rhea and Satina, and we can come back and like have a date to help out sometime soon. Then.
Okay, that would be nice. Thank you for.
All right.
Thank you, Dimitri.
I'll go let them know. And
Unless we all die first.
Go get your girlfriend.
I leave. With
Your once and future girlfriend?
Smiling. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once in
That's what I do.
Okay.
Such a good book.
So you return to the warehouse and you share your plans with the people, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have anything for today, or are we moving on to tomorrow?
Oh, we got
That's
the
all I
midnight
have
thing. That's it.
today.
Okay. Yeah, midnight rolls around. Piotr, you take your daughter to the clearing that Sasha and Mako used to, hang out at in the past.
I'm also going to ask probably Lysa to come with, because she seems more invested in the relationship, just so that she can
Be on the lookout.
look at, and then also use detect magic to make sure that they're not like using anything to track Mako.
Detect the magic out
Okay.
of that kid.
You don't have
So-
detect magic?
No, I said I detect the magic out of that kid.
Okay.
Yeah. You get there, and Mako's sitting there. Like, it looks like he's been there for a little while at this point. But as soon as he hears you all approaching, he just, perks up and then, turns around. And you see Sasha kind of, hesitate, for a second, but Mako is the one to make the first move. And he's like, Sasha, you came! And just starts running across the field in slow motion. And just kind of like stops short of her and like
And everything changed in the fire.
And
Nation
thunder. No.
And then she stands on a landmine as she runs to him.
It's so good to see you.
How dare.
Yeah, I've really missed you. It's been a long time since I got kicked out of school.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'm sure it's nothing. They continue to chat for a little while about, just like minor catching up things. And eventually, Sasha turns to you two and is like,
Hey, can we, get some privacy?
Just a sec. Lester, do the thing.
I
What are you asking her to do right now?
Dancing
Fireball.
lights.
Lightning
Detect
bolt.
magic, you
Shit,
crazy
sorry.
person.
Detect magic.
yeah, you cast Detect Magic, and you don't sense any magic on Mako. Fortunately, this time.
Okay, we'll be nearby if anything happens. Otherwise, I know where you live. I point at Mako, and I turn and walk away.
Okay.
Oh, don't worry about him. He's just like that. Did you know that he did that to Lysta once?
She just tugs him along into out of your line of view while whispering excitedly.
As they leave line of earshot and all that, I'm gonna say to Lysta, sorry again about that.
I mean, at that point, it wasn't really hard to figure out where I lived. I lived with you.
Funny.
Okay. So that all happens. And you two just kind of wait out. You hear frequent giggling and laughter coming from the bushes. And then an hour or two later, Sasha and Mako emerge from the bushes, and they just kind of give each other a brief, really awkward, kind of that really tense, enthusiastic, awkward hug goodbye, and then
Anyways, Mako has to go home, so I guess we can leave too.
Say, Mako, is there anything weird about your dad recently?
Oh, well, I guess he said he was going away for a week. That was actually why I could, finally say that I was gonna meet up, is because he wasn't watching me.
How's your mother doing these days?
Oh, she's out too, that you mention it. She's been gone for a week now?
Can I kind of exchange a look with Lysta?
So who's watching over you?
Oh, we have the manservant Alfred, and then we have I need to come up with names fast. And then there's the maid Therese, and I have 2 or 3 nannies that kind of help tutor me, and he just keeps on naming off people, a really long list though.
All right. Well, I'm more than satisfied that you were not left home alone by your parents.
Yeah.
Wait, does that happen? This is clearly a foreign concept to him.
Yes. Some people don't have 12 nannies or can't afford them.
Mako,
Say,
your background's showing again. You told me to tell you next time.
So, if anything weird starts happening, you might want to have an escape plan.
Oh, don't worry. Dad tells me all about the different ways to get out of the estate that are all hidden and what to do in an emergency. Every Thursday he goes over the escape plan. It's fine. I know how to deal with it.
You might want to come up with
Sorry, not
another
Thursday,
escape
jar.
plan.
Every jar.
You might want to come up with an escape plan your dad doesn't know about, just in case.
Just kind of tilts your head.
Yeah, don't worry, he's always like that.
Every char.
I think lately, the stress of his job, I think it might be getting to Calyx, and I just. Yeah. Just in
Okay.
case.
He kind of gives you a look like, what do you know?
You know, you know
in return,
how,
I give him the look of, I'm supposed to not like you. Because you're dating my daughter.
I'm just gonna look down. You know how Piotr likes to sit in dark corners and watch people?
Oh yeah, I've told Mako all about it.
That's how.
Wait,
Are you were... Okay, I'm gonna go now. I'll see you later, Sasha, right?
yeah, I'll try and find another way to meet up with you.
I hate all three of you.
You know that's not true.
That's right. I only hate two of you. I'll give it up. I'll let you guys figure out which ones those two are.
That's not true. Your life has gotten much more exciting since we've met.
It really has.
Yes, the boring old days when I had a steady job and people weren't trying to kill me.
I mean,
Oh, you
Terrible
complained
times.
about that job all the time.
I mean, that or constant head trauma and stab wounds. I truly, the grass is greener on the other side, or the dirt is browner, as it were.
well,
Anyway, let's head back.
Okay. You all head back. You go to sleep for the night, and things seem pretty uneventful from there on. There are no more night terrors, no more ominous fish people plans, but when you all wake up in the morning, after you do your normal routines and daily activities, preparing spells, meditating on nature, Etherin spends a considerable amount of time whittling his lute.
I make potions and things.
Whittling his loot.
I had to phrase it that way.
I don't know
Man.
how, but my mind is trying to make that sexual.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
all-
just
I-
a big elbow motion off screen is what you need.
It helps. It helps.
Oh man, our
Just
maturity is
whittling my loot. Oh, yep,
Our
that'll
maturity
do
He
it.
starts
That'll
grunting
do it right there.
with each
Oh.
stroke.
He gets real into it.
He gets real into it, yeah.
Lysta tries not to.
Watch.
After a while, he's getting pretty sweaty, so he takes his shirt off.
Cleanse
Switches
over every
hands.
once in a while, but try and do it like sneakily.
Okay. Anyways, you all hear a somewhat familiar knock at the door.
Oh
Familiar
god,
knock.
who is it this time?
Quick, Piotr, to the
I'm-
rafters.
I'll look at you and just say, I'm going up there, not because you told me to, but because I want to. Scuttle, scuttle. Scuttle, scuttle, scuttle.
I wait until I know Piotr's in position and I'll go towards to open the door.
Milo will pull out a balanced dagger.
You're just
and
gonna
clean
whip it
his
out?
fingernails with it.
Whipping
I'm gonna
it
clean my
out.
fingernails with a dagger, homeboy.
Just whipping it out.
Amen. When in doubt, whip it out.
Okay. With that, you all slide open the doors and reveal before you Giles the Sword Hand.
Oh, Giles, right?
Yes, pleasure once again. Was it Dimitri?
Yeah,
She just kind of like
Did
steps
you-
in like she's already been invited in.
did you
She's
have a
not a
message from
vampire.
Zoya or something?
Indeed. It appears that she's requested an urgent meeting with all of you. Given your current situation, I've brought Zeke and Boris here. She gestures to two broad men behind her, clearly from the Twilight Cudgel, to help protect you while we go and make it clear that you're with us.
Oh,
Oh, just let me grab a few things, and Milo will scuttle around picking up various ingredients and stoppering things.
Such a good word, scuttle.
I didn't think we needed an escort, but okay.
I'll do my best to just appear at the door.
Okay.
Yeah, let me just grab my things too.
Go ahead and roll perception.
See, in my mind,
Eh?
you just like slowly rappel down behind her, and then when she turns around, you're all of a sudden just there.
26.
Yeah, so you notice like she flinches out of surprise, but like tries to brush it off.
Nice. I don't know why I tapped my head there.
Big brain.
Big brain plays when it's really not.
Okay. With that, we're going to go on break. It'll be a shorter break than the timer will suggest, but after that we'll do How to End the World if anybody is around, so please let me know in the chat if you want to do that. I will put up the message that kind of says what's going on. So yeah, just let me know, and we will be back. And we're back.
Welcome.
Praise the sun.
Hello.
No, you do that at the end of the show, Joe. Come on.
You
He
should
does it when
always
he wants, Alex.
First
Come
off,
on.
you praise the sun when you feel the spirit of the sun. Second, the sun is the source of all good rolls. Praise it.
When do we
Well,
take the
okay, I feel
offering
the, I
of
feel the
sun?
power of the sun right now. I got a bit of sunburn where my bangs normally go.
That's your punishment for not believing.
Retroactively?
Yep. Sun
Okay.
is omnipresent and omnipotent, so
Time is an illusion to the sun, which is why it must be
It's-
praised.
it's not a four-dimensional being. It's not bound by these dimensions. The sun exists at all times simultaneously.
I'm
Then
pretty
why
sure
do we
that's
have
not
nights?
true.
Do you not have object permanence?
Just because the sun's light doth not be upon thee, doth not mean that the sun doth not be there in existence.
No, it means stars eventually die.
Also that.
We're talking about the immortal sun god here.
Yeah.
So,
Anyways.
moving on. How to End the World?
Praise
Yeah.
him.
So
You
yeah.
know light to shine on you when you say that.
Let's fast forward. You all go through the town and make your way to Zoya's tavern. I don't remember what it was called. It was like the
Oh, hold
Is
on.
there Charging Stallion or something?
Charging Stallion. That sounds right.
Yes, charging stallion.
That had something to do with a lamb.
No, that's,
that was
that's
the
the
Ashen Lamb
secret
that-
entrance to the Crypts that we keep going into.
Yeah. But so you all make your way into the Charging Stallion, and there's the fight going on as usual, and you proceed into the meeting chambers where it is just as much of a scene as last time. Bodies everywhere, just the smell of
Yeah, I know.
sweat and odors and
Okay, I'm done dancing.
yeah, it's hot in here.
Dance more.
I believe it.
And you see, oh shit, I forgot one thing. Let's go back a sec. Before you leave,
Sorry. Let me take those back.
Rewind dance.
Anananke mentions as you're heading out the door. Oh, by the way, Rhea,
Yeah?
it might be a good idea to stop at the monastery on your way back. Giles, would you be so kind as to take them there as well? Giles just kind of like nods affirmatively.
That's confusing. Okay, yeah. Thanks for the advice.
Does it
Of
have to do
course.
with Brandon?
I believe it's better if you just see so for yourself, but remember, Rhea, though a wound may hurt in the moment, the lesson it teaches you will give you knowledge to carry for a lifetime.
What's that supposed to mean?
Again, I think it's better that you find out for yourself. Just some words of wisdom from a kind old soul. You can kind of, like, see her, like, face kind of twitching. Like she's trying to hold back some sort of emotion.
Yeah.
Can I like try to understand if it's a positive or negative emotion?
Yes.
I should say wound.
Yeah, I'm like seeing if she's holding back fear or like a birthday present is waiting for her.
Right? Is it a surprise party or is it a surprise punishment?
Or a surprise
go ahead,
punishment
roll
party.
perception.
Ugh. I got a 19.
I got an 18.
Well, actually, this isn't. She's not lying to us, so I would got an 8.
Okay. You can kind of get the feeling based on her words that this probably won't be a happy visit, but you don't know what it's about. You don't know, like, the severity of it or anything.
Yeah, I just have a sense of concern and foreboding.
Maybe it's just like Nala's sick or something. I don't know.
Right. I hope everything's okay.
She got down with the fishness.
No!
I appreciate that one.
Okay. Okay. No, by the way, but okay. Okay, let's change the notepad quick to the correct
To Zoya.
things. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Then I also need to fix the supplement because it is tavern time. And then
Alright, get ready to dance, guys.
they can't hear it, so
Demetri walks in with his hood up. He does not.
ah yes.
I
I'm glad to see that you all finally made it.
Yeah, what was so urgent that you needed to talk to us now?
Giles, can you please leave us? Giles nods and walks away. Yes, I have something of a proposition for you all.
Go on.
See, I've offered my help to the Fang as well, but, sorry, reading ahead in my notes. I've become aware of a certain event that's going to be happening tomorrow, and I figured I might offer you my aid in what's about to transpire.
How would you help us in this?
She snaps her fingers, and some like half-dressed sexy men and women come out carrying platters with items on them. And like, remember, you guys are like standing at the bottom of this like long ramp up to like her, where she's like sitting on a pseudo throne.
Yeah,
Just
she's
kinda,
full
like,
of herself
lounging.
and her
Oh
setup.
yeah. Oh,
well,
yeah.
there's orgy just going on around us.
Yep, it's sweet. I visualize it perfectly.
Now,
Orgies, everything.
I've offered my Fang her help to the Fang as well, mind you. But like they say, the best time to buy is when the world is on fire. So I intend to stoke the flames.
Did you give them the same things that you're giving us?
I gave them help, to say the least. Let's say it'll be a little surprise.
It wasn't information on us, was it?
You'll find out. She snaps her fingers again. The like parade of men and women begin making their way down the ramp to present the items to you.
I'm not the most comfortable with this.
Milo will take a step forward and begin examining one of the items, but like not take it out of the person's hand. He'll like lift their arm up to bring it up to a higher height for him to look at.
Sorry, I'm just looking up a good description of this because otherwise. So yeah, the first thing that you pick up is a grisly molar that hangs from a cord threaded through a tiny hole just above its dried, exposed root. You recognize this as a gallows tooth.
A gallows tooth. I'll put her arm back down and then move on to the next guy. Specifically the next male.
This one has a murderer's knot.
That's a little terrifying.
Uh-huh.
What
So
are
to
murderers
describe
not?
it is a black strand of leather tied to look like a peace knot that you can attach to your weapon. You know that when you activate it, the next creature damaged by your weapon will take 1d6 persistent bleed damage.
Yeah. I'll nod at the tooth and say, Piotr, you might want that one.
The gallows tooth, I don't have my book on me.
It's
It makes it so that the creature
if you
you're
attack
attacking
an
becomes
adjacent creature
flat-footed.
and haven't rolled your attack roll, you get some fun.
Well, so you have to
intimidation.
Oh,
activate
damn.
it.
Thanks, AMB.
Yeah.
Right hand.
Right on.
Don't know if you're watching, but, appreciated.
It takes a
I'm gonna match that stuff.
Yeah.
it takes a action. I don't know what does a
Oh, I can look it up later.
It's an interact.
okay, that's what the clear on the inside was.
A clear means free action.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So going over the rest of the stuff, you get in total 2 moderate alchemist's fires, 2 gallows teeth, that includes the one that I told you about already, an iron cube, 2 murderer's knots, an invisibility potion, and 1 greater thunderstone.
Weird question, y'all. Do you guys mind if I study this invisibility potion and see if I can add its...
All yours.
Question, Piotr.
Answer the lifestyle.
Do you have the twist the knife feat?
I do not.
Okay.
Nor will I ever, because I don't think that one's particularly good.
Okay.
You all take all the stuff though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She snaps her fingers again, and the people carrying these platters begin to retreat back up the ramp and then go
I want to look into it.
behind a curtain.
Just in combination with the murderer's knot.
Thank you for the items.
Of course, the least I could do.
Is this just what you intend to do? Just play both sides and just keep the status quo for yourself?
What can I say? I'm a woman who likes to shop around, and I figured I'd make my own fire sale.
Who like fire?
Well, I, for one, will not look this gift horse in the mouth. Thank you.
Well, thank you again. Have you don't know exactly what they're going to be doing, do you? Like exactly.
I do. But what would be the fun in telling you? Giving you all a chance to plan, outflank the enemy, minimize the damage, suffer the fewest casualties. That's not my style at all.
Don't like it to be counted on, I can tell it. Anyway. I'll kind of back off a little bit. And kind of,
Sure.
just stand next to Rhea while we're in here.
If you're really trying to maximize casualties, you should have stopped them from evacuating citizens. More people
Let's
on the
just
streets is
say-
more chaos.
Let's just say that I have my own plans with regards to that.
Okay.
Anyways, you are all dismissed.
All right.
Fine.
Okay.
That'll turn indeed.
Yeah. You all turn and leave, and yeah.
Rhea, let's go to the monastery and see what she was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, that's been bothering me this whole time.
Giles.
The monastery. No.
Giles escorts you to the monastery, and I'm tempted to put Rhea's theme on, but it's too happy. Screw it. It'll be fun for now.
We just need to commission a minor version of it.
Right? Yeah, I mean, like, I'm sure there are automated tools to do this.
Yeah.
You see the Sorrowbringer Modica standing guard outside the monastery gates. An unusual sight, as she's often seen in the sent out into the wild to hunt down runaways. You see her wolf companion, Aldonis, curled up next to her feet. He's an almost supernaturally large, black-maned wolf with some mechanical contraptions aiding movement for his hind legs. Modica picked up Aldonis during her seeking, helping the wolf after it had been abandoned by his pack. As you approach, Aldonis's ears perk up, and he stares at you, letting out a low growl you still manage to hear from 50 paces away. Rhea, you grew up with Modica. She was your senior by 2 years, and recently completed her seeking, gaining some notoriety amongst your peers after she snuck back some whiskey she brewed out in the wilderness. Rhea, why don't you tell us something that you remember about her?
The music's pretty loud.
Yeah, I'll cut it.
He was always really one of the top people in all of the classes. But one day I was really struggling, and she stayed after class to help me get the hang of the new form that we were learning. And so I've always really appreciated that and admired that in her.
Okay. Modica greets you from a distance. Hey, everyone!
Hi.
Hey, is everything okay? He's not normally so mad at me.
I'm sorry to say, Rhea, but I've been told to escort you into the trial chambers. Zoe, Kai, she gestures over to 2 more Sorrowbringers that emerge from kind of just out of sight.
I go from being concerned and foreboding feeling to complete on edge alarm. Rigid, stops moving.
I assume you all can hear the noise that Rhea's heart makes as it drops into her
Yeah, I'm
stomach.
right next to her.
Thump, 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 thump.
Rhea, what are the trial chambers?
Kind of self-explanatory.
Milo
elbow.
will move to step between Rhea and these other monks.
I'll put my hand on your shoulder.
While she's distracted with Milo, I'm gonna elbow Dimitri in the ribs. Be supportive.
He looks stunned for 8 seconds. And then
After a moment of having my hand rest on Milo's shoulder, I'll take 2 steps forward and take a deep breath and say, I'm ready.
Okay. Follow us. She gestures to everyone.
Wait. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So while we're walking or something, I'll be like, "So, Rhea, is this it then? Is this the big test?"
No. This is not expecting.
Well, whatever it is, you'll probably do fine, right? You've been out for months, and you're probably prepared, whatever it is. So I'm sure it'd be impossible to spring something on you. So don't be that afraid. I think you'll be fine.
I'll nod along, but my facial expression isn't gonna get any less grim
Cool.
or
I'll
serious.
I'll hold your hand while we're walking then, if you let me.
So, you walk through the monastery, and like there are a number of fellow monks who just kind of like whisper to each other as you walk past. One of them points and makes a gesture, and Rhea, you notice that there's actually some construction going on that wasn't happening last time you were here. You see some of the groundskeepers, I can't remember their name, walking past with carrying some really large logs on their shoulder. But eventually, you make it to the trial chambers. It's this really large sunlit room with marble tiles stretching high above in an arch. Engravings in the tiles tell the story of the temple, how it was built long ago with the help of Droog, and how the temple's first sage, Molvodia, was selected among the populace by Urgoth, Catfoot, and Molly to watch over the temple. You see in the trial chambers long wooden pews that are beginning to be filled with other members of the monastery, and at the end you can see some people filing in, specifically Wayfinders Tyre, Rourke, and Jalis, as well as Vanguard Grohl, kind of the leader of the monastery. You also see Luciv sitting behind Rourke, and Nala is kind of sitting on a table off to the side. You see an open area where Modica kind of leads you to that has a seat for you, Rhea, and Modica gestures to the rest of the party to kind of take their spots in the pew.
So calmly.
Okay. As you wait.
Designed to make you feel small.
Yeah, Rhea feels really small right now. You can see the curved table is on this raised platform, so they're all kind of looking down at you. And you can feel at your back.
Imagine in
whispering
Harry
and looking.
Potter when there were any trials.
Yeah, at first I was going for U.S. courtroom, and then I was like, let's steer in a different direction.
When I get closer-ish to Rhea, I'm gonna whisper to her, "We got your back, no matter what happens."
Okay.
And I will take my seat, cross one leg over the other.
Smallest little smile, the only small smile.
Milo will sneakily try to hand Piotr an alchemist's fire.
I fucking love you, Milo, but maybe leave the room.
I'm sneaky. I could probably palm one.
Go ahead, roll stealth. I'll let you.
But I'm terrible at throwing them.
Just throw it on the ground.
It's okay if you miss.
Fork bomb.
It only starts.
I'm on fire.
All right. What skill?
Sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Can I roll to assist him?
Stealth or thievery?
Thievery.
Okay. That is a 29.
Never mind.
Okay. Fair enough.
He's a shady fucking doctor, man.
That's a 19
I now have
on
alchemist
die.
fire and healing potions, so I'm really, really glad I didn't use all of.
You smoothly slide your alchemist fire over to Piotr, and you all have a while to wait. It's a half hour. It's really tense. The air is just thick with suspense, and eventually Vanguard Growl, this really old man with a wizened beard, he's super gray fox and he stands up and pounds a gavel, says, "Excuse me, let us all begin. Please calm down. Please be quiet." And the whole room just falls silent. Well, during our time, we aim to produce the best. Those who lift us and the community up. Sometimes, even the healthiest trees produce rotten fruit. It is here that we shall be determining one such case. Rhea Sagekin, who brought
Stand and bow deeply and respectfully.
who brought to our temple 2 criminals who caused grievous damage to our home, and who is now wanted for crimes relating to the blood tides and Ashkin worship. You hear the room just begin to erupt in chatter and hushed whispers. And he pounds the gavel again. Silence, silence. We will start with a recounting of events from Nala, Rhea's mentor, who raised this issue for our consideration. Then, we will allow witnesses to come forward to submit their testimony. Finally, we will give one last opportunity for the involved parties to make arguments for or against the motion. And, did I miss a line? Finally, the Wayfinders will adjourn to reach their conclusion. You see chatter begin to erupt again before Vanguard gives a motion, and the room falls silent again. Nala stands up and walks to the center. So, I became Rhea's mentor for her seeking. I believe it was 2 or 3 months ago, during the lake. And she at first seemed like a very kind and passionate individual. She cared for the people around her, but since she's been taking a worrying turn, she's been getting into arguments with other monks here. She gestures to Luciv, who kind of nods in her direction. And she just hasn't been making the same progress as some of the other students, unfortunately. It was a couple weeks ago when she brought the 2 prisoners that she had apprehended, Brandon and, what was his name?
I don't know. Scrappy dude.
Murder boy.
Yeah, fuck that kid.
Barai.
Alright.
Brandon.
Johnny Murder.
Yep. Brandon and Barai into our monastery. And while I at the time agreed to let them live amongst us while we determined what to do with them in the long term, I had my reservations. After all, these were very dangerous criminals and known Ashkin sympathizers, but I set aside these concerns and trusted Rhea and her judgment. But unfortunately, that trust was betrayed several days ago.
What are you talking about, Nala?
I'm sorry, Rhea, but it was when did you meet with Brandon and Barai? Not Barai, just Brandon?
Right after I met with Nala last.
I am looking for the time. Anyways, it was the last mumble. Oh, Scythe, and she expressed a desire to go meet with Brandon. I assumed that this would be a friendly encounter, maybe something to try and help persuade these poor lost souls over to the light, but I was soon relieved of that belief when later that night they broke out, bringing grievous damage to the temple and to our home as they escaped with implements provided by Rhea Sagekin.
That's not true. I didn't give them anything. I only talked to Brandon and only because... And then I'll stop because I'm speaking out of turn, and that's not allowed here. And then I'll look sheepishly at people and say, I'm sorry. I know I'm supposed to wait my turn.
Yes. Anyways, this whole ordeal has been very, very difficult.
Can I perception check her? Or insight check her?
Yeah, sure. Also, I'm sorry if I got quiet there.
Is she lying? I'm good at telling if people
My
are
sad
lying.
Nala voice needs to be
Son of a
closer to the
bitch.
microphone.
19.
Directly into your ear hole.
I got a 22.
22.
Or
I'm waiting for other people who are rolling.
21. 21. I can't math.
I didn't beat that.
Alista?
I got a 19.
19? Okay. Dimitri, you sense that there's this layer of truth that this story is built upon. Like, you saw earlier that there's construction, and you saw that there are elements of truth to this story.
Yeah.
But you sense that, like, maybe her concern isn't quite as, you know, full-throated as she's been making it out to be. Like, her whole composure seems just a little thin, but the rest of you don't really pick up on that as much. Anyways, I'm really sorry to you all for failing in my duties to raise this poor, misguided soul, and I hope that we can show compassion for her in judging her and make sure that most of the blame lies where it truly belongs, with me and my failure as in my duties. Excuse me, that's all I have. She goes over to her chair. Very well. Grell stands up again after people, like, you know, do their usual whispering. As mentioned earlier, we will allow witnesses to come forward to submit their testimony. Please begin queuing in line over there if you have something to add to this particular matter.
I'll get in line.
Milo will also go up and get in line.
I'll get in the back of the line, behind other witnesses that might be on the other side as well.
I eventually get in the line, but I'm like, Rhea, you met with Brandon?
Okay.
Yeah, just alarmed. Like,
So,
I do get in line.
I heard Leista, then Piotr, then...
I'm getting in the back. Like,
Okay.
if Milo gets in line, I'm going to have him go in front of me.
Okay. So Leista will let you go first.
Hello, Council. I am Leicester from the Hallowed Rainier.
They'll give you a polite bow back at you.
I have been assisted greatly in my time in this town by Rhea. I am new and from a separate continent. I was sent by my people because we heard of the plight of the blood tides, and I was sent to try and find its root and end it. Rhea has assisted me in my research, and we found both Brandon and Borai to be complicit in causing the blood tides. We also found that they had some connections to a few of the Tarnis in the city, so we deemed it unsafe to try and leave these two dangerous individuals with the Taurus. It was then suggested that perhaps this monastery might be a good place to imprison them for a time, to keep them locked away and under safe eyes. We approached... what's her name?
Nala?
Nala?
No, we approached Nala as it was Rhea's main contact with the monastery at the time. We warned her of the fact that while Brandon seemed as though he could not see, he was quite capable of observing those things around him and had highly capable magics. We also warned her that though Barai may be young, he enjoyed inflicting harm upon others and had no remorse over that harm, and that he seemed quite mentally unstable. She agreed, and we trusted her to do that. I was understood that very highly trained monks would be watching over them. I assume that's not the case if they escaped. No offense to you guys, I'm sure it was just a misunderstanding. But if these two are on the loose, I don't think now is the time for one of these gatherings, questionings. Rhea has done everything in her power since I met her to help end this affliction on this city. She has had no part in aiding it, and to infer such is unfounded.
You see the council kind of whisper to themselves, the Wayfinders, and then Rourke speaks up. So you're saying that Rhea had nothing to do with this escape, and yet she was the last one to meet with them. What would you suggest happened?
Perhaps a mole from the group, the Twisted Fang, made its way into the monastery and was able to sneak them out.
You'd suggest that us monks who have all spent our lives here, this is a different person talking, might have been sleeper agents or something?
No, I didn't say any of the monks here were. I said perhaps an outside force managed to make its way in. Undetected.
Rourke again. And what do you have to say about the wanted posters that are all up over the city, smearing our name with Rhea's face?
As I said, their group, that call themselves the Twisted Fang, seem to have some connections to the Taranis within this city.
The Wayfinders all kind of whisper to each other for a minute. And Vanguard Grohl stands up again. Very well, thank you for your testimony.
Bow and sit back down.
Okay, who's next?
Milo, I believe.
I am. I'm not sure what I'm looking for here. Quite frankly, the only proof that they seem to have to implicate Rhea is simply conjecture at best. There's no proof that she had left them anything to escape with, nor that her visit had anything to do with their escape. I just don't see the lines of the connection or where this argument is going. Could you please explain it to me?
So you say that there's nothing to the coincidence of Rhea visiting and then all of a sudden these two prisoners who are kept under lock and key escaping with explosives?
Well, if they had explosives, they could have at any time. Why would you not wait until someone was there?
Exactly. They broke out the nights that Rhea visited.
Yes, but you don't break out without a plan.
They... Go ahead and roll diplomacy.
That's a 10.
Total?
I don't have a bonus to diplomacy.
Okay. They...
Oh, wait, no, yes, I do. Hold on. I do have a bonus to diplomacy. That's a 17.
Okay.
Told you it'd be worth taking.
They look at each other and whisper, and then they look back at you. Vanguard Girl speaks this time. So you'd suggest that, suggest that we should risk leaving somebody who might cause further harm to our monastery within our ranks?
How can you prove that she's caused harm to your monastery?
Many signs seem to point towards that conclusion as we've gone over.
So you're beholden to gold instead of the gods, then?
So as you say that, like, two sorrow bringers that are kind of on the wings of the courtroom start marching forward towards Milo, and Grell just kind of like holds up his hand and then says, "Thank you for your testimony. We will be hearing from the next person now."
Understood. Silence has always been the weapon of choice. And Milo will stand down and go to sit in his pew.
I sheepishly approach the pews. Never been in a place like this before. Hi, my name's Dimitri. Sorry, I don't have a last name. Well, I'm kind of confused in all of this. I've known Rhea for quite some time now, and when we met, I didn't really. Well, I haven't liked this city for a long time, and the place where I'm from, where I was kind of not so great. And well, when I met Rhea, well, the first thing she did was ask me how she can help the people that are less fortunate than most others. She wanted to help them with food and kind of show them the way, show them that they can help themselves too. And I just saw her doing that every day for months. She would go use her own money to bring people food that she cared for, that she didn't even know. And people began to look up to her. And then when all this other stuff started, Brandon, I've known Brandon most of my entire life. He was my friend. And it was all of our ideas to bring him here, it wasn't just Rhea's idea to do that. We kind of pulled her strings, and we knew that she had resources with all of you, and kind of told her that this would be the best idea. So that's why we did that. And Brandon himself, Brandon's become not a good person. So if he broke out of here, I know it's not Rhea that would have even assisted them or thought to assist them, because she's not capable of something like that. But Brandon, he's clever and he can do things like this. And I'm going to make an illusory creature at second level that'll look as close to as possible as Rhea, and she'll just be standing next to me. He can do things like this. Use magic to manipulate what other people are thinking and what other people see. So there's a high chance that he would have used this, and he doesn't need knickknacks or books and things to do that. He can just do it because he's been twisted by all of these teachings and ideas that the Twisted Fang taught him and all of his gods. But I know Rhea would never do something like that, and if anyone did, it was just Brandon himself. He must have found out a way, and to just trick all of you. And I'll have the image of Rhea kind of walk across where I am, harmlessly, just to demonstrate that it can move on its own. And Nala, you don't even seem like you care about what happens here, and you just would rather see Rhea leave. The way you were talking just seemed dismissive. And I don't know if your story's true or not, but I'm not accusing you of anything, but it just seems like you want this to end a specific way, so I just don't see why, when she looks up to you so much and looks forward to your meetings and things. She talks about you, and everything seems good, but here we are. That's all.
as you like finish your speech, like the whole crowd is just chattering with just a whole bunch of emotion behind you, and Growl bangs his gavel again. Order! Order! So, you say you bring this figment of Rhea here. Are you suggesting that she wasn't the one that was here?
No,
the night that they broke out?
I'm telling you, I'm showing you what Brandon is capable of doing. He and I, we're not the same, but...
I do not see any explosives hidden in that thing. It does not explain how they got out.
Well, he might have access to other magics. I don't know. I haven't
But
talked to
then why
Brandon.
not earlier?
I don't know. Maybe he came up with the idea, got assistance before Ray even saw him. Maybe there's something else going on here. It's just not her. She's too good for this.
And okay. Thank you very much for your testimony.
Fine. Angrily kind of go back to my spot.
So, Piotr, before you, in front of you is Luciv, who steps forward. And let me remind myself about his voice.
Snotty.
Yes. So, I would like to talk about how Rhea has been involved in this. Oh, hey, Nathrama. Oh man, you're in the middle of some stuff. So
Hey, we should help this guy out.
Yeah, so you go to fantasticide.net/donate, and that'll bring you to the campaign page, and you can donate there, and we will super appreciate you for that, because, yeah, this stuff's important. So
It certainly is.
yeah, just say something in the chat if you have troubles doing that. Anyways, yes. So, I guess I was a little afraid to bring this to light, but see the other day on the night of the incident.
Quick, somebody cast Zone of Truth.
The day of the incident.
Not today.
What's your one use?
I
Haste.
actually
Go fast.
ran into Borai and Brandon as they were sneaking out, and they did have the explosives that I saw. I confronted them briefly, and they confirmed that they had an inside contact. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't know who it was, and these people were quite untrustworthy, but I'm afraid that the way things are looking, it does indeed look like our Rhea was
Perception check.
the insider that they were talking about. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, that seems shady to Milo.
I'm on it, guys.
Oh, 30.
Okay. I'll wait for everybody else.
I'm
I heard-
not.
I heard 3
It
people.
sounds like guilt is being taken off her, and that's all I want.
It's being put on her.
Wait,
You hear
Yeah.
the same thing we
Not
Minus-
did?
listening
Minus
closely.
26.
Piotr?
20.
I was writing,
Okay.
so
Yeah, so all 3 of you can tell that this is not truthful. He's not. He's making shit up.
Milo's gonna heckle and yell malarkey.
Order! Order!
You wouldn't be alive if you met them.
I rolled really low on that to figure out.
Sorry. Anyways, I'm. In addition, I figured I could maybe shed some more light on this issue of Rhea's attitude problem.
Place him under truth.
What attitude problem are you talking about?
I'm gonna turn to give a look to the guys and shoot him a look that says, "Be quiet. You're only hurting. You're only hurting her case."
I sit back down in my chair.
Yes, there was this run-in a little while ago, and it started off pleasant enough. Rhea and I traded stories about how our journeys have been going, but when it became clear that Rhea was not so happy with what she has been doing, things turned dark, as Nala suggested. She berated and insulted me, and it was very, very, very hurtful. Also, thank you, Nathrama. We appreciate it. So...
Oh, I thought that was related to the case for a second. That's just like, Okay.
I wrote down .com. I'm sorry, everyone. I have brought shame upon us.
You are welcome for what we do.
Yeah, we don't, we didn't get to fantasticide.com. Okay. Yes.
Shame!
The one person that he was sitting behind, Rourke, who's been like giving most of the questions, has speaks up. Oh yes, I remember you talking to me about that back several weeks ago. It did seem quite hard. I had a discussion about it with Nala, and we agreed that it was a problem worth addressing. I am sorry, son, that we were not able to address it, it seems.
Insight check.
Go ahead.
These people are ganging up on her, man.
Well, I mean, if the sun thing is true, there might be some, 25.
I mean, yeah, it happened.
Is that his dad, or is he just saying son because it's a monk thing?
Oh, I meant son as in, like, boy, as in, like...
Because we're in court, don't we just always have our insight checks rolling? Like, I feel like that's what court is.
Yeah. Anyways, sorry, back in my lucid voice. Anyways, additionally, I saw some of the explosives that they had on them, and I must say, it's not something that anyone here, I think, would be able to craft. Say, Rhea, do you have some sort of alchemist friend or something like that?
Milo will just kind of lean into his seat a little bit.
As I've been pretty clear with some of the people in this room before, I did befriend one of the doctors in town, and actually Nala was quite pleased about this, and they spent quite some time talking a few weeks back.
A simple yes or no, please.
Well, he's a doctor.
And you're saying that he cannot make those sort of implements?
It's not a matter of can or can't. We can do anything we put our minds
Okay,
to.
out of character, you can't. Alchemist fire is an explosive. Did you grab Thunderstones at some point? Huh, cool. Today I learned.
Alex, trying to help. Joe. Fuck.
Okay. I believe that says all that we need to know about the matter. Anyways, I really am sorry, Rhea, that it had to come to this. It's been such a pleasure knowing you and being raised up alongside you. I'm so sorry that it appears it might have to end like this. I do hope that you come to your senses. And he goes and sits back down. Piotr, your time to shine.
Sorry, I'm just writing down the last little thing you said.
Prepping for your closing argument.
You know, Your Honors, my name is Piotr. I am a former criminal, reformed
Whisper.
in fairly large part by Rhea over there. I have been involved with crime ever since I was born. I was put into the situation by circumstance of birth. I have grown up with it. I have learned it it is what I truly understand, even now, even as I try and break free of that life. So I just want you to understand that when I talk about how criminals act and how they plan, I speak from experience. You say that Barai and Brandon broke out immediately after Rhea gave them the implements to help. This would imply that Rhea is working with them and on their side. So why would they make it so obvious that she was the one helping them? Why would they have the arrow point directly back to her? Why would they tell Luciv here that they had inside help? They had no reason to do so.
Excuse
Could
me,
have
excuse
easily
me.
waited.
First, you and your friends argue that the issue is that they didn't break out fast enough, and now the issue is that you're saying that they break out too fast?
I have nothing to say about my companions' arguments. I cannot read their minds, so I don't know what they are thinking, and thus I cannot possibly do their arguments justice. All I can do is say what I see, given my experience in the lens of my life. And I can tell you that were I imprisoned and someone gave me the means to break myself out, the last thing I would do is implicate them. The last thing I would do is make it so obvious it was them, because once you've burned someone like that, they'll never help you again. And no one else will ever help you again.
So you're
really
good.
The fact that they are, if there's one failing here, it is the failing of mercy. It is that, in accordance with your teachings, Rhea decided to have mercy on these evil souls and try to give them a second chance, and gave her best effort to do so. She brought them to the one place she thought might be able to contain them and reform them. These reservations that Nala had, they weren't brought up. She thought that this place would be a safe place to hold them. The alternative was killing them. She chose an uncertain mercy over certain safety. And as far as I've learned from her, that's what you would have her do. That is what your teachings are. That's what Urgoth's teachings are.
That was a very rousing speech. But you are speaking of a child and a blind man. Why, at least the child wouldn't know enough to be so cautious as to hide his means, don't you think?
Oh, certainly he wouldn't be cautious enough, but he doesn't need to have the means to break out.
And
the only one who needed the means to break out would be Brandon. And as we've established, he's a powerful mage. And certainly well connected.
Growls.
I mean, you saw my friend conjure an image of a person. Who's to say that someone could not erase their presence in the same way and sneak in these explosives without anyone being the wiser?
Growl speaking this time. Excuse me, but I've noticed a distinct incongruity between the stories that you and your friends have told so far and the stories of our own, those who are with us at the monastery. How would you go about explaining these differences? of recollection?
Well, in the case of Luciv, perhaps they did tell him that, oh, we've got an inside man. I would do that. If I were breaking out and I didn't have an inside man, that is the first thing I would tell someone I was breaking out. Spread misinformation as much as you can. It throws people off the trail. It makes them blame their allies. It makes them look in the wrong places while you, meanwhile, make your escape or continue your work.
But what about the character testimony that we have received? Are we not to trust our own?
Well, I hate to say that it's patently untrue, but I would ask her other classmates, what do you think of Rhea's personality? And honestly, even if she's this horrible, mean, argumentative person, which I would remind you that an argument takes two people to start, what does that have to do with it? If she's this mean-spirited person, which she is certainly not, that means she's working with these people and trying to let the Ashkin escape? I don't see any reason why she would. It would immediately come back to hurt her. She's lived in this monastery her whole life. Why would she try and destroy her means to better herself? Selfish people act in their own self-interest. Evil people act in their own self-interest. Why would an evil person decide to hamstring themselves?
Thank you very much for your testimony. Let us move to closing arguments now that we have moved through witness testimony. Rhea, we will allow you to speak in your defense.
Thank you. I would like to be a witness to these events as well, given that I'm at the center of them. Before me, there are accusations. First, of my character. I cannot confess to never making any mistakes, for it is Toan nature to screw up from time to time. But I do try so hard not to do anything intentionally rude or petty. I try so hard not to lash out. And there's a difference of opinion between how I view the interactions that I've had with Luciv and how they have clearly been presented before this council, not only today, but in the past as well. I believe the only negative remark I have made to him since I began my seeking was simply that I did not find the Lore Keeper's calling to be my passion. That's not to say he should feel bad for it being his. Simply that I hope I'm given the opportunity to walk a different path. As for the more serious accusations of aiding the Twisted Fang, I have been trying to stop them at every angle, at every opportunity. We brought Brandon and Barai here not for any reason other than there was no place within the city other than here that could be trusted to hold them and could be trusted to not already be allied with their goal. We are capable and we are strong, and as a group we are able to do so much more for the city than we do. Have you been out on their streets lately? Innocent people are starving, children are dying because there's not enough resources to go around. I've never gone hungry a day in my life thanks to this monastery. But we could certainly survive with less. We could certainly give more. As we teach, so must we act. I did speak with Brandon that day, and I'll turn and look Dimitri directly in the eyes.
Return Dimitri.
And
I look alarmed.
say, just to him, I'm sorry I didn't tell you. I spoke with Brandon because, as my friend has stated, for a time they were brothers, friends, closest of companions, and my friend doesn't want to lose him to the madness that has currently overtaken him, and my friend believes in him, and I believe in my friend. And I thought that maybe if Brandon were just given the right chances, or maybe if he was just communicated to the correct way, we could build a bridge. Maybe he didn't have to die for him to stop supporting his twisted cause. Maybe he could be brought to a new cause, and I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. Nala knew I was going to talk to him. And I think what hurts the most is how I have always had faith in this organization, and in a matter of months, due to a few stories, you seem to have abandoned it completely in me. I think you are being foolish. And I don't think that you're going to listen to what I have to say. I think you've already made up your mind.
I'm gonna whisper to Milo, hey, do you have any of those smoke sticks?
I'm going to overhear that and lean over and say, I've got it covered.
But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Very well. Thank you for your testimony, Rhea. He bows at you. Finally, Nala, would you like to make your closing statements? None in particular, but I feel like I must. So, I don't know what to say. This whole ordeal has left me heartbroken over what's happened. I've seen Rhea, as I mentioned, show a darker side, and it was nice seeing some of the old Rhea who cared so much today, but I fear, based on the actions that we have established her making, that this is just a misguided facade. I know Rhea has always been one to have strong emotions and be passionate, and it just hurts me so much to see her in front of you express sympathies towards these poor misguided souls who did so much damage to our monastery. And, well, I'm afraid of what the outcome might be, and I am deeply regretful of my own neglection of my duties to raise Rhea properly. I hope there's something we can do to save this soul that has found herself so far off the trail. that's all I have to say. Thank you, Nala. We will go and convene in our chambers, and we will be back once we have reached our conclusion. Sorrowbringers Kai, Zoe, and Modica, please escort Rhea and her friends to the barracks while they await the outcome of this trial. And you all get taken to the barracks where Rhea spent the first part of her life. And that's where we're going to end the episode.
Get to see a shred of convincing evidence.
Can you all roll diplomacy checks?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm using my hero point.
I'm gonna declare that after I roll terrible. Oh, show it to the camera.
Okay.
Holy crap! Never mind. I'm keeping that.
16 or... Okay, we're
That
going
was my
with
diplomacy.
16. 27 on Yumitri.
Same Z's.
I feel bad. I got a 26.
25.
I'm gonna use my hero point.
Should have used my.
Oh, nope, that's the same thing. Just upside down. I should have known you can't get a 91.
Never liked these monastery people, man.
25.
Okay.
Holy cribbity crap! We rolled well.
It's
Right?
too culty.
Okay. So, while
they're
that is
just-
where we're ending our
They're just
episode,
ripping on my girl, man.
does
Oh, like-
anybody in the chat want to do How to End the World, our viewer stream game that the alarm went off for some time ago, but like, no, we're not interrupting that. Yeah, otherwise, yeah. Get to find out what happens to Rhea.
Yikes. I'm sorry, Rhea.
That was so stressful.
I did
My
my best.
cute
So
thing,
upset.
my cute thing will be so much cuter now. Just whatever the result is.
Nope.
Just
You didn't have
because of what
zone
we
of
talked
You take
about.
pleasure in
Just
this.
because of what we talked about.
If you
Oh
had
my
Zone
gosh.
of Truth, man.
I
All
don't-
of that
didn't
kid's
know we were going
testimony
to a
was
trial,
out.
and I'm making haste spells or scrolls. So that's my spell for the day.
Okay. I'm not seeing anyone in the chat, so we're going to sign off, but the donation thing is still open. We didn't reach our goal of 100. We got pretty close, but alas, no giveaway next week, but it'll still be up, so
We'll shout it to the rooftops
yeah.
for next week for sure.
Yeah, we'll come up with some cool incentives for if we meet our $200 goal next week. So, yeah.
Thanks to everyone who did contribute. That was so nice of you, and it's a really important cause that we all really care about. So thank
Yes,
you.
much
Thank you.
thank you.
Yep. Anyways, yeah. See ya next week.
Bye.
Thanks for
Stay
tuning
classy.
in.